Welcome, degenerates. Right, we have two selections for tomorrow. First, let's just recap yesterday. We did land a nice winner there now on the Patreon service. I'll come to that in a minute. But we did have a frustrating day yesterday. I thought my double, I thought Eternally Yours didn't get the ride she normally likes. She likes to be handy going forward. There went no pace. She had a very light weight. Made no use of it and she stayed on. But she'll win again. And then Alamu Gold, who was in the double, he just disappointed. There was no getting away from that at Ascot. He's never ran a bad race there. He just disappointed. However, I am annoyed I didn't go for Time White. He ran twice at Ascot before. He ran out once and he finished second. But the time he finished second, he probably didn't get the pace to aim at. I did tip him up for Cheltenham. Really fancied him in Cheltenham when he was a non-runner. Then he tipped up in Aintree. But anyway, Time White back to his best, bolted in. We had a frustrating day on the service. I had Migration, who was disappointing to say the least. He didn't give his running. It's very simple. He's just a way better horse than that. He just didn't show up yesterday. He backed up quick enough after Ascot. He's a horse that normally has a big gap, and maybe it just got the better of him. He came there with a run, but he just walked home, and that's not Migration. He's a fast finisher and a strong finisher, so just nothing we can do there. Like, he's definitely on form. He's serious chance in that race. He just blew out. And we also had a couple of other selections disappointing. We did have we had a nice winner on the Patreon service, Miss Milano, at 13-2 the other day. And then we started today with a horse that got beat, Serious Ego. Just thought he went down. He should have kept out a bit wider on the better ground, but he walked home. But he's normally best fresh on soft ground. But then we had Houston, Texas, 3 points win on him, and he won well. Looks a real progressive staying chaser. Well done to Connections. Delighted for them, and hopefully he wins a few more. I was chatting to them in Kelso when I was over with Paddy Neville, and he was just telling me that the horse was coming out and they were looking forward to him. So nice to see him winning for Connections. Right, tomorrow, lads, or before I give you the two for tomorrow, I just want to touch on the Breeders' Cup. I will be covering it, so stay tuned for that. I tipped up 6 winners at it last year. I tipped up Golden Pal in the sprint, Yabir. I tipped up my Banker Echo, Zulu, Space Blues, Life is Good. We had some really good ones. Nick's Go in the Classic. I am really looking forward to the Breeders' Cup. It's a meeting I love. And yeah, crushed them in it last year. Had some really good winners, and I'm really looking forward to Flightline. I'm on him at nice prices all year. He's into odds on. I have him well back to 5-2, and yeah, looking forward to him hopefully getting it done in rampant style. I do think Epicenter in the race makes it interesting, but look, I think Flightline's 1-2 or 2-5 now. Lads, whatever price he is on the night, I think he's a cracking bet. But I will be covering it anyway after killing them in it last year. 6 winners tipped up at it. Right, tomorrow, oh lads, forgive me now, I don't know the time of this one, but we'll get it. It's I forgot to write the time down. Anyway, Atakan, Joe Tizard's horse, running in the chase there tomorrow. It should be a novice handicap chase or a handicap chase. They're sticking him in anyway. This horse, lads, is better than this mark. I promise you, he's better than I think he's 107. Now, it didn't happen from over hurdles. He was a little bit lackluster, green. And look, if he jumps around here tomorrow, he will win, I think. But it's first time over fences around Plumton. It can jump bad. So I can see reasons why you can win and win well, but I can also see reasons why you could disappoint and tail off. So I'm giving it to you straight. If he jumps around really well and he improves for fences, he'll beat the favourite, no problem. But he could go down and make a silly mistake because he did jump a little bit weird over hurdles. So he's risky, but a point win, 3-1. And then in the 4:05 tomorrow, Philip Hobbs's horse, Island Run. I think there's definitely more to come from this horse. It won, it scraped home to win, and then it went into a decent race in Fontwell where it finished third behind some decent horses. Now, 2 decent horses ahead of him. The Gary Moore horse won it that day. I can't just remember his name, or I can't pronounce his name, but he's a horse that has been running in some nice races. It's Rummy something or Rummy, something like that. But anyway, he's ran in some decent races in Cheltenham and things like that. I do think he started favourite for the race. Pullagrain Green won over hurdles there. Anyway, to cut a long story short, this horse is definitely better than this mark of 106. Can he show it tomorrow? I hope so. He's 6-1. Island Run is definitely going to improve this year. Is it first time out? I don't know. But I like well handicapped horses. So a point each way, 106. In a trappy little race now. But this horse has definitely got upside. The horse that finished behind him that day in Fontwell, finished well behind them, 6 or 7 lengths behind him, managed to come and win one in Fontwell. And the other horse who was further back in 5th, he was coming in off the back of a maiden hurdle win. So it was a tidy little race. Although he was well beaten in Fontwell, this is a good drop in class. And a point each way, 6-1, the 405, and Atakan, who's a bit earlier on the card, a point win. Right, tune in this week when we look at the Breeders' Cup. And yeah, hopefully it's as successful as last year. My banker won by 5.5 lengths, Echo Zulu in the Fillies Juvenile. She absolutely romped in. Then we had Jabir, he was unreal. I had Space Blues in the Turf Mile. Yeah, just had some real Nick's go in the Breeders' Cup Classic when, yeah, a lot of people kind of were wary of him staying, but around a tight track like Delmar, showing his gears when he got on the front end, you knew he'd get it done. Yeah, just a really, really good one. Really enjoyed it. And Life is Good bolted in for me as well. So I had 6 winners on it. On to this year. Let's see, can we do the same again? Enjoy. Mad Merrigan's the name, and finding winners is the game.